It is the last month of 2024. We didn't really set any goals this year because our main goal was just to get this mortgage as low as we could possibly get it. But I just think it's so important to give yourself grace. And when I'm the type that if I put myself on like a strict timeline of things, I kind of fixate on it. And I don't want to do that. I just want to kind of give ourselves grace as we enter the last year that we hope to ever have a mortgage. But if there is anything that you set out to do at the beginning of 2024, comment below. Let me know. Have you accomplished it? How close are you? Because we have another 30 days until the year is up. So it's time to do this budget, and I have not done any of it yet. So starting out, middle section, you guys know that's where we put all of our spending. So on the outer two, I'll put our credit card transactions. On the middle one, we'll typically put our debit card transactions. I almost paid our credit card balances off in full by the end of last month. Obviously, they're not due yet. You have a certain amount of time to pay them. But the amount that I do roll over into this month that I plan to pay when we get paid or what sometime during this month, I do like to identify a little bit of what that was. Like, here's what it was for. Here's how much it was. So for credit card one, the only thing we have left over is $142.24, which is for a dermatology bill that I had, and I paid that. To the other account, it is for one charge that I made towards our Christmas sinking fund, which will just pay it all in one sometime in December. I actually bought a gift for someone else's kid. I was on TikTok like a few days ago, popped up on someone's TikTok live. It was like first thing in the morning on Friday, I want to say, Black Friday coincidentally, and she's just talking about how she has been advised by her doctor that she has a month to live, or less than a month to live. She has breast cancer, which has spread to her back, her eyes, and one other place, but I'm going to tag her page, her TikTok account, in the description if anybody else wants to give as well. Obviously totally up to you. I just so happened to scroll past her live when she was literally in the hospital, and the nurse was talking to her, telling her, you know, you're in such a good spirit about this, and like your positive attitude, which she was really positive about what's going on with her. She was like, he was just saying like, I can totally see you making it past a month, and I really just, you know, all you can do is pray for a miracle. So anyway, it really touched me, of course. Just very unfortunate situation. She was just saying, you know, don't worry about me, worry about my kids. If you guys want to give anything to my kids, their wish list is in my bio, or it's in her bio. Her wish list is in her bio, where you could like buy something off an Amazon wish list and it just goes straight to her home. I'll put all that in the description just in case anyone wants to give, but that is what I did pay for her child. Anyway, getting back to this. So yep, today's the 1st. I did finally get my refund from the US Postal Service. They made it very difficult for me. They ended up finally mailing it back like 2 weeks after I was in there is when I got it. Then it wasn't filled out. Friday, I also went to take the kids to Chuck E. Cheese for our like once a month outing. That was literally the last day of November, so we got that done. But I also took them with me to the post office to say like, hey, this money order you guys issued me, you didn't make it out to anyone. You didn't make it out to me, my address, anything. Oh, you just do it. Like, you just do it. And I literally don't want to do that. Like, things I was Googling online was like, that's not something that people are supposed to do. It's supposed to be written out by the person. And they kept saying, it's just like a check. I'm like, yeah, well, if somebody wrote me a check, I also don't want to address it to myself or write it out to myself. Like, I don't want to do that. That's your job. They refused to do it. Made me write my name on there, my address on there. Finally, I was just like, you know what, whatever. I'll do what you guys want me to do. I just want to be done with this and wash my hands with you guys. So finally, I have washed my hands of that post office. That's something for another day. Anyway, I bring that up because I used that money to pay for the Chuck E. Cheese with my kids. Bought a few things, like food as well. Nothing but cake. Their pumpkin spice cake is about to go out of season, so I wanted to get a couple more before that happened. And then I also used some of my points, so I got one free. Anyway, that is where I got some money from so far, or at the end of last month. I have like $10 left of it. It was like $54. So let's update our income. So we're getting paid twice in December. I'm gonna miss our 3 paychecks. But anyway, I don't know if I told you guys this already, but we've changed me and my husband's paychecks. Basically, I'm contributing like less. Instead of 10%, I'm contributing 5%. 5% of my pay is 4% of his pay. He's going to start contributing 4% through his 401k and getting a match. And ultimately, it's the same exact thing. Moving me contributing that $108 to him contributing that money, it just gets him a match. So it just made more sense for us to start doing that. First paycheck that is due, that we'll be getting next week, I'm expecting it to be a little bit more because he did work on Thanksgiving. I want to plan for like $200 extra, but I'm not sure exactly how that'd work. Let's just be safe, and I'm going to quote for like $150 extra with his check. So instead of us bringing home $3,350, we're going to plan for $3,450. And then of course my side hustle money being like content creation. I'm not 100% sure how much I'm going to get from that this month or by the end of this month. I'm just going to kind of guesstimate, and we're just going to aim for like $250 total. If it's more, great. If it isn't, also great. So we're just going to say other, and we're going to put $250. Of course, I do have to put aside a little bit of money for that. But anyway, we'll just have that by the 31st, which of course is subject to change. Oh wait, 3,300. So what I like to do is copy and paste my expenses from November just to make it a little bit less that I have to do. So I'm going to just copy and paste from November, move that to December, take out the color because we are starting fresh. So I will check and make sure everything looks good as far as like the cost of stuff. A lot of these are fixed expenses, so they don't really change. But last month electric was $114.36. I'm gonna just round up as we get closer into winter. As for gas, it was $63.85. I'm gonna just round up as we get closer to winter. So that's what we'll do for those. I canceled one of my subscriptions, guys. Used to pay for the blue check on Instagram, which it's called Meta Verified, where you just get that. Really, this reason was mainly just because of like me having a financial account. Anyone else who has like a financial social media account, you know, people will try to impersonate you on there, and I've heard horror stories of different types of things happening with that. And kind of how I feel now is just, especially after I took like a short social media break, it's not that I don't care about like my accounts and my existence on social media, but I just care a little bit less. And it's not worth paying for it anymore. I'm going to put how much on the screen that I did end up paying for this subscription since I got it, I want to say in June. I ended up deciding suddenly I wanted to cancel this within like 3 or 4 days after it had charged for the month. Luckily, I was able to request a refund. So yeah, I'm no longer with the blue check on Instagram, but it is still me, guys. Anyway, so now we only have $9.99 getting charged through Apple for our iCloud subscription. So we still have League Pass, we still have groceries. We're gonna have a little bit more to spend on groceries this time since we're gonna have 5 grocery trips instead of 4. So I'm going to plan for $700. I did that last month thinking that that was the case last month, and it wasn't. So we ended up just putting that money towards other stuff. But this month for sure, gonna need $700. So all together, bottom right-hand corner, it tallies it up for me. And of course, like I always say, if you guys need someplace to do your budget, this is linked in the description in my Etsy shop. But all together, expenses are coming to $1,200. And then we have that first mortgage payment that we just make of $2,000. That's our normal amount plus some extra principal. The second time, I'm going to end up paying $2,600 because as you guys know, we used to just pay an even $2,500 the second time we got paid, but we started paying our interest charges on top. So if we get charged for the month of December, $100 of interest, I want to pay an extra $100. This time we're expecting it to be $95 and some change, but I'm going to round it up to 100. So that's why it's $2,600. So let's see, all together, this is tallying up to be $3,197. We'll just say $3,200. That leaves us with about $250 for the first paycheck of the month. So what I'm going to do is again, do homeowners insurance. I'm also going to do car insurance. And then we have a remaining $50. We'll just put it towards some other type of sinking fund. But I'll see what we need at that time. So 100 towards car, homeowners insurance, and then 50 towards this. And we'll do all of that on the payday that's 12/6. And you know something? I know that I actually am going to have to go to another dermatology appointment. I'm going to do HSA with that extra $100 just because I'm going to go to the dermatology again this month. Things could come up, so I'm going to start putting money aside for that. So that'll be December 20th. And then that leaves us with $250. 20% of $250 is $50. That'll be by $12/31. And then an extra $200 that we could put towards something. We're going to do sinking funds again. And when I say sinking funds, that can be like car maintenance. Like we do need new tires on my husband's car. Could do that. He could use an oil change soon. Probably I'm going to put it towards car maintenance, but I just don't want to put it on something strict right now. And something changes or comes up. But for now, in the back of my mind, I'm planning for like probably putting that towards car maintenance. That's probably what we're going to need to do this month sometime. Schedule an appointment for that. That's what December is looking like, the last month of the year. Let me know what your guys' budget is looking like. Ooh! Just can't believe this year is almost over. It's bittersweet. We obviously want to get to mortgage payoff, but I also feel like time is constantly going so fast. The kids grow up so fast. I remember I used to like want to like get something where you didn't have to mark on the wall when you're like measuring your kid's height to see how much they grow. I wanted to get something that would allow me to like not have to mark on the walls, like buy something like craftsy or something for that. But now I've never done it, and now we're getting to the point where my youngest is about the age of my oldest was when he was born, and I'm just starting to like move the secondhand clothes, like the hand-me-downs, and I'm like, wow, like he's fitting clothes that my oldest was wearing when he was born. I wonder like how they differ in height. I feel like my oldest is taller than my youngest is at this age. So it just makes me wonder about all that, but it's like I never did that. I never made it so we could measure their height and stuff. So if you guys do stuff like that with your kids, let me know how you guys do it. Do you guys just leave the markings on the wall, or like what do you do? Because time just goes so fast. It's not fair. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Like the video and subscribe if you're new.